Sunday, April the 14th, 2013, and today I've chosen to come down to Sussex, Hassocks to be precise, and we're walking around 12 miles from here southwards to Brighton, free walk 50. It's a very windy day today, albeit much warmer, around 18 degrees. No rain forecast, unlike yesterday, which would have been my preferred walking day because the East London line is closed, and today we have the Brighton Marathon. Consequently, the train was absolutely rammed, all 12 carriages of it, and I'm expecting a similar situation for my return journey later today. So, let's press on, see what the walk holds. Information board here just outside the station. Yeah, as I say, very strong wind forecast, so I'm going to be walking straight into it, seeing as it's a southerly, but not to worry, at least it's not raining. Spring has finally arrived, I guess. Okay, just about to leave the uninspiring, so described, Grand Avenue, which I think is quite pleasant. Lots of 20s Art Deco type bungalows here, and finally going to get to hit the countryside by the looks of it. Lots of people with their dogs coming from the footpath mentioned. So here we go, South Downs on my right and the onward journey ahead here. Although the text refers to this being a southeasterly direction, I actually make it easterly. So I hope this is the right way. Soon find out. Excuse the shaking, it's this strong wind. So clearly the south is on my right, as you can tell, because that's the way the winds are blowing today. Actually, I stand corrected. Once you get into the field, you can see a clear footpath in a southeasterly direction towards the gate over there. Views back to Hassocks, and on the hill up there you can just make out one of the windmills, Jack and Jill. So, still plenty of water around, despite the strong winds. Hasn't dried it out that much yet. Another windmill on my left over there. Interesting that the sails aren't turning, in spite of the very strong wind. Village church ahead of us, and a very muddy footpath. Well, unfortunately, I just dropped my camera in a puddle of mud, so let's see if it continues to work properly. I'll be amazed if it does. First time that's happened in 4 years of recording. Such is the slipperiness of this path. Slipped and the camera went flying. Entering the village of Ditchling. With its church just behind there. A memorial to it being the best kept village, large village, and on the post a number of results there for different villages in each year. Interesting. Anyway, the camera still appears to be working, albeit that it's swathed in mud. So it never will be the same again, unfortunately. Could be a costly day today. Of course, St Margaret's Ditchling is a place where I've had lunch in the past. I'm going to save that pleasure until I get to the top of the beacon today. Although not clearly marked, this is due south, so I'm going to assume this footpath here is the one referred to as going towards the Nye. Some of these field corners get so damp they've had to put boardwalks in place, which is just as well. Amazing, this would be so much different in the heat of summer. No water around then, I'm sure. Anyway, weather's delightful so far. It's around about 12:30 now. Still on course for having lunch on Ditchling Beacon. And the camera's still working. Thank God. Back to the pleasant village of Ditchling. Although still quite primitive compared to some counties, very traditional styles. Good work being done by the Monday group again, an organisation I've praised previously. And there you go in the background, the Chiff Chaff has now arrived. He has been late this year. Just hear him in the background above that great tit and robin. Very late this year. Anyway, that means spring's here. All I need to hear now is the cuckoo. There's a deer hidden down there. I saw him go under this barbed wire. He thinks I hadn't seen him, but I did. Looks like his right leg might be injured. Anyway, one less bit of venison at the moment, as I continue to say. Cull deer, cure two problems in one go. Okay, Ditchling Beacon looming large ahead. And this bridleway leading to it. There's a dinky little horse out there with his winter coat on. Not really needed today, but I guess you have to be taking contingencies against drops in weather. Tiny thing. Not even sure it's a Shetland. Seems too small for that. Some very pleasant walking here. As that song thrush, I believe it is, will confirm. Delightful. Now to prepare myself for a pretty tough ascent. Well, around halfway up, and thank God my camera's working. Lovely views. Well, I'm hoping it's working anyway. I'm talking. I believe it's filming, but we'll have to see the results later. Delightful. What a great example of a U-shaped valley here. How much more pleasant does it get than that? A robin singing his territorial song and some delightful views. Probably his version of I vow to thee my country. Delightful. Further views back towards Ditchling and the surrounding countryside. Lots of walkers around today, despite my indications on this video that there aren't. Okay, turn right here. And as referred to in the text, the ice cream van is here today. Self-explanatory. And again. Glorious views back towards the car park and beyond. Excuse the wobbliness, but as I say, I am continuing with a pretty strong wind today. 50 knots, I believe. Hopefully the noise isn't too much of a problem, but the shakiness might be. And in any case, we're lucky to have any video at all at the moment. 248 metre trig point, as marked on the map. We'll be turning off left here shortly. So pretty elevated as far as southeast England goes. Cracking day, eh? Delightful. Just a little bit on the windy side, but I'm not complaining. Looking back at Ditchling now. Struggling with its wind. And I think this will make a very good lunchtime stop here. It's 1:30 now. And what I'll do is do what the sheep do. Get in one of these little burrows. Protection from the wind. Righto, 2:15. Lunch has been had. And I now have to tackle the headwind. Following this footpath to Heathy Brow. 2 o'clock, not 2:15. Give us some idea of how popular this are. Daylight today. Let's see what people do. Now entering Skylark territory. They are in full sight as well. Luckily for me, this path is a lot quieter than the South Downs way. Well, as I said, I'm walking head on into the wind. So at this point you take the left hand track towards Hyde Park, not the lower standee. Footpath marker there. Can hardly read what's on it. So weather beaten. Typical herd of cows blocking my onward route. I'll have to divert below them. Not my preferred option. I would have preferred to be above them, but I can't. There you go. Yeah, there they are, right in the corner now. What a pain. And of course that's the exit for me. Delightful views though. No wonder they call it Brighton. Oh, there was only one thing for it. Leap over the fence a bit further down, bypass them that way. Funny how they always congregate round gates. Hence that's why you get stacks of puddles and mess around them. Okay, having crossed the busy Ditchling Road, the text tells you to take the right hand of two options, so that's what I did, but that takes you onto something called Downs on your doorstep. Now had you taken the newer footpath post on your left near where cars are parked, I think you're going to end up where we're headed anyway, because the text tells us to turn left here. So things have altered somewhat since the text was written, I do believe. We'll soon find out. Yes, had you taken the left-hand footpath marker, you'd end up at the same place. Cars parked over there on my left. We're now headed southeast, within the woods, parallel to that field. Looks like this could be very pleasant bluebell territory in a few weeks' time. But having said that, I've already seen a Spanish bluebell in Wapping. Not the sort of variety we want to see, but there you go. After a very pleasant section of woodland walking, after 400 metres, turn right through that gate over there into some meadows. Clearly coming down off the downs now, not quite as windy, but pleasantly so now. Again, since the text was written, some alteration here. You can clearly see that the track used to go into that field there, but there's new fencing erected sending us through this gate, which the text tells us not to go through, but clearly with another gate over there it is the way to go, assuming this is south, which I haven't recorded yet. But through the woodland south into Stanmer Park. Yeah, it is due south through this little bit of woodland. Out of a very pleasant woodland section. I do believe that's the Amex Arena over there, I think it is, where Brighton play at Falmer. That's where we're headed anyway, I think. Turning left, headed southeast on what I hope is the bridleway referred to in the text. Still heading towards that stadium over there. If I pass some barns shortly, I know I'm on the right track. That's the bridleway, because I'm seeing people walk up and down it on the left there. That's good. Hey, I'm on track. There's the large barn referred to in the text. I'm on the bridleway, and presumably that's Stanmer village ahead of me there. Lovely. Instructions are working well thus far, although looking at the feedback there could be some potential slip-ups very shortly. Views back from a point just near the barns referred to in the text. Brick and flint cottages in Stanmer. Stanmer tea rooms, which are very busy today, as you'd imagine. Approaching Stanmer Church. Okay, the main feature of Stanmer is its well and donkey wheel, but I think there's too many people in there today to get a shot of that. Have a look.
Oh.
Okay.
Lovely. And look what that works. Gives me a funny sensation when I look down there.
You shouldn't do. Come and stand with me here.
Oh yeah, no. Oh no. Sounds like
I designed it. Perfectly so.
Well, quite an amazing little place in here.
A lot of people in the park today. You want to get a good photo down the well?
And the gentleman here has kindly removed the mesh so I can get a better shot down there. And I haven't even gone full focus. It's quite amazing.
What's that? Is that the rippling I can see on you?
It is.
Viewfinder.
Yeah, I've gone down. Yeah,
Oh, we've got a lot of water coming in, that's why.
Where's it coming from?
It's coming out of the chalk either side.
Crystal, yeah, lovely.
I could see it then on you.
Fantastic.
There it is again, look. Quite a lot came in there.
And the church. Very decent clock up there as well. Interesting chap there running a donkey wheel. Me and him have had a good debate about the passing of Maggie Thatcher. He's clearly one of the ones that wants to dance on her grave, interestingly for this part of the world, but he's a Yorkshireman by the sound of his accent, so that would explain that. Stanmer House, built in 1720 apparently. Google it if you want to find out more information on it and its park. And as you can see, the wind's died down now I'm down here. Far better. Built for the first Earl of Chichester apparently, and has 5,000 acres of parkland. Stanmer Church from another angle. The house from another angle. Apparently a house has stood on the site since the late 1590s. Tourist bus 78 leaving the park over there. So it does work on a Sunday. Point 8 of the text refers to the coming to the end of this fence, and that's the onward journey ahead. So I think I'll take that version as opposed to going directly to Falmer station. It'd be good to see the Amex Stadium over there. Interestingly, a game of football going on in front of me. Future Brighton and Hove players, maybe. Entering the short patch of woodland past a footpath post US 8. University Sussex 8, perhaps. The tea time stop, the Swan Inn. And behind me the footbridge and a busy A27. Just turned left after the bridge crossing, a lovely bit of heather there. And some primroses with it. Spring's definitely arrived, eh? Peacock sunbathing. Interesting position to do it. Lovely bird. Very strange. That's like the warmth on the car roof. Not sure the owner will be too pleased with the droppings on there though. Okay, taking the scenic route past the pond as described in the text. According to the neighbour, that peahen, as it was, not a peacock, has been frightened by a fox recently. She's sitting on some eggs, and that's why she's afraid to go back to her nest by all accounts, so the eggs would have perished. Falmer South Village Church over there. Ten past 4. Church from another angle. Very noisy. Is it geese? Yeah, I think it's a goose that's making all that racket. Lovely bunches of daffs. Surprised they haven't been stolen. Sold at some road junction. The farm shop referred to in the text. As we approach the busy road junction here, the very nice football stadium that is the Amex, I believe, anyway, that's what it's called. Nice backdrop to it. There you go, confirmation. No homophobic songs allowed, apparently. Not sure if you can read that, but Blackpool are next. Could be that Brighton are in the Premier League very soon as well. Perhaps not this season, but they're doing well. So there we go, the seagulls, and immediately opposite we have this footpath headed south over the stile, which I'm about to take. The stadium's actually been quite well thought out because it's in a dip, so doesn't intrude on the skyline really, but I have been able to see it from some distance throughout the day. Back at the Amex from this point, and you can see all the solar power being used over there. Solar panels, very good. Still within point 12 of the text. Scenery as we approach the brow of the hill. At the brow of the hill, we turn right here, down Falmer Lane, I believe it's called, with an L. About 150 metres up here. Views across to Upper Bevenden, firstly there, and Bevenden down on my left from Falmer Lane. Radio mast in a distance there is what we're headed for, apparently. See the towers of the Brighton Conference Centre in the distance, and the sea. First time I've seen the sea today. Further views over suburbs of Brighton. Brighton in the distance there. And the sea with the sun shimmering on it. Very typical of the Brighton area. Bevenden Community Gardens. The new name for an allotment, I presume. Except it's not your own allotment, it's several. So no motorbikes up here. And what have we got ahead of us there? Someone on a quad bike. No, I missed him. And not only is there someone on a quad bike, there's about a 2-year-old kid on the back of it as well. Okay, leaving the rather unsalubrious housing estate behind me, ascending towards the TV mast. And what a disgusting footpath this is. It's like the residents of the estate on my left have chucked all their recycling alongside the footpath. Unbelievable. Entering Kemp Town racecourse. Again headed for that TV mast over there. 5 o'clock for the timekeepers. Second of the TV masts. We do a sharp right here across this wasteland. Okay, East Pier and a vista over Brighton. As I face the westerly setting sun. One of the views towards the sea from St James Street. So, walk 50 completed. Rather suburban in places towards the extension from Falmer, but otherwise very good walk. Lots of variety and good weather.